Welcome to DFS Karma, where we talk about our favorite fantasy sports plays for football, basketball, baseball, and pretty much everything else. Be sure to check out and create an account with all of our partners, such as MonkeyKnifeFight.online, PrizePicks.online, and StatHero.online. Use the promo code KARMA on any of these sites to get an exclusive deposit bonus. And don't forget to check out all of our free fantasy content on DFSKarma.com, as well as our own premium plays. Without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Please welcome today's hosts.
Hello, what is up, Karma Nation? Thanks for joining us on another edition of the Teen It Up podcast. I'm your host, JC. We had the crowd going wild because we have our co-host Sam on here, and we had a great week. So Sam, why don't we start talking about last week, the Riviera, one of my favorite courses on the entire tour. Obviously, this was an awesome tournament. It got wild on Sunday. Kind of not terrible conditions, but the course played super hard, super firm, super fast. There was a ton of guys falling out on Sunday, but overall, awesome tournament. We had a big week at betkarma.com as well as dfskarma.com. As always, you can find all of our content for DFS and betting on both of those platforms. But with that being said, Sam, let's talk about your week. I know you had an awesome week. You finally got over the hurdle in cash games, which your main lineup, you had Adam Scott, and then talk about the betting as well with Adam Scott.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm in like a bunch of these one and done pools. I'm not sure doing one this year, but I was like in like 96th of like 100 people, and now I'm in like 15th of 100 people. Like all you need is that one guy, that one winner. But yeah, if I could hit a winner, I hadn't been a while. Once again, my man Carlos Ortiz let me down with the top 20, but that's okay. I'll go right back to him this week, so I'm not too worried about it. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I had Scott in my core. I liked it a lot. I knew people wouldn't play him because he quote unquote hadn't been playing, even though he just won like 3 weeks ago in Australia. And dude, this is the year of the Australians. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how there's been 3 Australian victories in like the first 6 weeks of the PGA Tour season. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty straightforward for me. I don't know, like Scott was too cheap. DJ was obviously too cheap, even though I guess you could argue, like, did DJ pay off his salary? I don't know, but 10,000 was just ridiculous. He still got top 10. But yeah, that was a pretty good week. I think we both got tilted. I mean, Corey Connors just once. I mean, again, he lets me down every week. He lets me down every single week. It's not like I'm not going to go back to him, but I mean, that was brutal. Basically, like, I was watching with one of my friends. Like, this was my week. Like, I'm a Sung Kang truther. He was right up there. Adam Scott was in my core. It was funny, but yeah, hopefully we can continue it this week, even though it's a much of an event. But yeah, Riviera is like one of the best courses on tour, bar none. So yeah, I wish they were all the time.
Awesome week, crushed. I had that ticket on Adam Scott. You wrote it up in the betkarma.com piece. Yeah, unbelievable. You played him in your main lineup. I thought about it, man, but you know, it's weird. It just goes to show you, like, even us, we're on these podcasts, we're talking about things. I thought he was going to be like utter chalk, and he really wasn't.
I did too.
On DraftKings. Yeah. In the $2,000 entry where, you know, I min cash, I got lucky, whatever, I had a good enough lineup. He was 7% owned. Are you kidding me? Had I have foreseen that, he would have been in my main lineup. 7%. I mean, that's unbelievable. So there's definitely an edge as long as you're in the trenches and you're grinding, in my opinion. And it's funny, like you said, Sung Kang, guys that were on this leaderboard, Joel Dahman, my boy. Like, we had our guys this week, dude. And ironically, this week I did not MME, of course. This probably would have been my first big week. Who knows? But a lot of the guys on the leaderboard are guys that we've been kind of targeting, over the last, honestly, 12 to 16 months. It's the same guys that we continue to see spike, but they're not household names, right? So I feel like that's definitely how you get to take down some of these tournaments. So yeah, all around good week for everybody. I mean, assuming decent amount of people in the industry did okay. Adam Scott's kind of like one of those figureheads where I'm assuming there were other winning tickets out there. So hopefully we can grab another this week, Sam. We talked real quick off air that a lot of things that Sam and I like to do is start off talking about game theory, and then we get into quote unquote the picks. Everybody wants the picks, and talk about some of the leverage spots as well. But game theory is so simple this week. Don't play cash, in my opinion. I mean, Sam would agree with that. I don't remember a time when I've ever played cash games where it's a WGC no cut event. But again, you're going to do what you're going to do. That's just what Sam and I do. We don't play cash. I don't necessarily play more tournaments because I still feel there's so much luck. I just feel like this is one of those things where you could be crushing, say, going into Sunday feeling really good, and then your guys just don't have a couple eagles or something, right? Like, I don't know, man. I don't like that. To me, that definitely is more gambling. But hey, that's the industry we're in, and we'll all have a few DJ lineups out there. So let's get into it, Sam. What can we expect? Obviously, we're going to Mexico this week. I think it's like 7,500 plus above sea level. So simple math would tell us that generally we'll 10 to 15% increase in all clubs. What else are we looking at? What? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, exactly. I was glad you brought it up. I mean, basically, it plays more like 6,800. Like, it's so short when you adjust the odds to like 6,800, 6,900, whatever it may be. But yeah, I mean, based on the schedule, they're like on those same greens they've been on at Torrey Pines and then at Riviera with those polo greens and that Kikuyu grass. So it is good. You can kind of look at guys who've been putting well in the last couple of weeks. That's on their same surface, or guys who historically should be putting better, i.e. DJ, i.e. Xander, who maybe should turn around. I don't know what they were doing last week putting. But, yeah, I mean, this course is just – I wouldn't even call it a birdie fest. I mean, DJ made it look like one last year, but there are definitely a lot of birdies out there, and a lot of these holes play so much shorter than they look. So I would just caution you, people are going to see 7,300 and be like, oh, we need to target guys with long irons, when really you don't. It's more like short irons and wedges and things like that. So I'm weighing like that opportunities gained on Fantasy National. We use a lot, birdie or better, bogey avoidance, and then pretty much basic stats in there. If you guys get a lot of greens and can put on POA, is kind of where my head's at.
Yeah, it's interesting. As you were talking, I just happened to filter opportunities gained because I love that stat. We talk about that weekly over at Fantasy National. Awesome guys that run the site. Awesome data. It's a great way to kind of dive into things. And it is interesting seeing some of the names that pop up top, and we'll kind of get to those in a little bit. So the only thing that I was looking back at my notes from last year on this course, and really it looks like real quick, big time ball strikers. This is a tree line fairway type course. So I think a little bit more accurate, the better. Now, I mean, yes, I do remember seeing this on TV last year and watching Rahm and some of these guys just going over the trees. So there's that. But, I feel like there's so many ways to play this course. But again, that's just kind of what me looking back at my notes the last few years. Those are the guys that at least I'm kind of looking into a little bit more. And I kind of put some bets on the guys that fit that build a little bit. All right, why don't you start up top? 10K and above, right? Hideki's the cheapest to 10K out of the big names, right? I mean, it's different seeing five figures for him, but he earns it, man. I mean, we kind of were joking in Discord that, when he was on the bubble, I think half of our Discord needed him, half didn't. And wow, what a putt. That was huge for you. I think you probably would have cashed anyways because you had Adam Scott, but Hideki just goes to show you the type of player he is. And now let's circumvent back to the 4 rounds thing. If Hideki's playing 4 rounds, he's going lights out one of the 4. I mean, it's literally automatic at this point. And that's the thing, like looking into the WGC, like these guys are all playing 4 rounds, they're all pros. It's kind of hard to really tell who's going to have that spike. But to me, Hideki's red hot. You probably could, right now, I would start all my main lineups if I'm making a cash game with Hideki, even a main single entry GPP. He just looks too on point right now. His strokes gained putting, which you can talk about, is probably awful, if not one of the top, 10 worst. Even last week, when I was looking, obviously, in POA historically. So where else are you up top? Rory, whatever, he fell Sunday, but he's going to be in the mix. DJ, he's won twice here in the last 3 years. The only thing is JT, I think, goes overlooked this week.
Yeah, that's what you just said last, what I was about to say. I mean, I agree with you on Hideki. It's funny. Hideki lost, I think, by 3 strokes, and he lost like 4 strokes putting this past week, which is like not surprising. That's like every single week. But I love Hideki. Even if I'm, like we said, I'm not playing cash. I definitely will probably have him as a core player of mine as of right now. Obviously, it's only Monday. But yeah, I'll probably go Rory. I don't know, dude. Rory to me, even at that price, seems like a value. He seems to be playing himself out of tournaments and is still finishing in the top 10. He's playing poorly and finishing the top 10. I mean, DJ, I keep saying he has to turn around, and I know if I fade DJ completely, he's gonna win by 100 shots. But like, I don't know. If I had to pick one, it was more expensive. I would go Rory or I'd go JT. I mean, Rom's been playing a lot. Do you think he has any fatigue maybe looking his way? I mean, he continues to finish like top 20, top 10 every week, and I don't want to fade him. He has played like every week, it feels like, in the last like 2 months. Like, he has got to be fatigued.
Let me add my 2 cents on that. While I add my 2 cents, can you please look up his history? I don't have that in front of me. I want to know what he's done here. And the reason I bring that up is, twofold. I had a few minutes earlier this afternoon. I was looking through some stats, and I jokingly put a couple in there to troll you in Discord. And Rom was one of them that I did not put him. I was about to put him in, but his stats kind of look awful. I mean, I know it's Rom. This is my guy, right? But I'm trying to find a reason why not to play, I guess, somebody, because I'm not going to make a ton of lineups this week. I'm really not. Like, I'll have 3, maybe a 4th lineup. I doubt it, though. But last week, he lost strokes around the green and with his approach shots, and he's gained a ridiculous amount of strokes gained putting the last few rounds in specific. So, I don't know. His history
is 45th last year, 20th. 2018 and 3rd 2017. It's gotten worse the last 3 years.
So I played him. I can assure you, I played him in my main lineup last year, and I actually remember. This is just one of those tournaments I remember, and I don't know, it didn't suit him. I just remember that. I got to find a way to fade somebody, and I think I'm fading Rom. JT's got really good history here. He's pissed off. Like, dude, at the end of the day, like, JT played awful this past weekend. I feel
like, dude, those stats don't even tell the story. If you look at whatever he did last week, like, I was watching, obviously, because he was in Tiger's group, like, those first 2 days. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if he was, like, hammered. Like, he just could not hit the ball. Like, it was bizarre, and he could not make anything. Like, on Friday, when he had to, like, pin seat, try to make the cut, he literally could not make a single putt. It was insane. Like, I think he bounces back easily. Like, I'm not worried whatsoever.
But I'm not worried at all. Again, I know it's weird for the regulars on these podcasts, and we will move on to the next range here in a second. But, man, I just – it's JT over Ron for me this week, straight up. Like, I'm just making that call now. Like, again, we're getting towards the next tier point of the season where, like, you have to bake in some emotions into things along with just looking at data. And that's another reason why I like him this week as well. Oh, real quick, by the way, I think fading DJ is going to be a mistake. I'm wondering if that's popular. I was watching him pretty heavily this past week, and I saw some tweets out there about his putting woes, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I don't know. He looked really good to me. He was rolling them in, and maybe you weren't paying attention.
Sunday he made everything, literally every single putt. And I was not tilted because, like, I had already knew I was cashing on Friday. Not even like I'm trying to brag about it, but after Bubba missed the cut and Xander and Finau did nothing, I knew I was that was auto cash. But, like, I was like, DJ, just relax, dude. Like, just stop. Like, you're just going to ruin my GBP ones. He made everything. And, again, he ended up gaining strokes putting. But here's the thing. If I see DJ, this is more like I don't make lineups till Wednesday anyway, ever. If I see DJ is going to be, like, under 15%, I will hammer him. And, like, I will absolutely – dude, I'll go, like, 50% because that's such a mistake. But I don't know. I think people may become one of those things like, I'm not playing DJ, and then everyone clicks his name because he's DJ. And he's won here twice.
Yeah, well, the thing is, his stats are so bad. If you look at other models besides even Fantasy National, like, DJ looks the worst I've ever seen in, like, stat projections right now. And that the way this industry is, especially with some of the higher entry stuff and the single entry stuff, DJs are going to be on their own. Okay. Like, people are going to look at his stats and be like, no, they're going to be like, no way, I'm not playing him. But you know what I'm looking at on my 3-4 monitors I have in front of me? The one on the right is my final thoughts last year that you made fun of me for because I dropped that in Discord. And what did I say last year? It was literally the same story. Dustin Johnson in my fade category. All I said was I'm off him for the moment until I see his game turn around. That's the same shit as right now.
And then you were too late. Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's
the same thing. Yeah, this course, if you look into it, this is a DJ course. This course sets up really well for him. I don't know, man. He putted amazing. I took note of that on Friday. Big deal. Like, people make, such a big deal out of, like, missing green in regulation. Like, yes, dude, Sunday was tough, man. Like, DJ was barely missing the greens. Like, barely missing the greens. So that's that. Good topic up top this week because it's 4 rounds. And the winner is coming from, I believe, one of those guys. If not, you're going to have two of those guys in the top 5. All right, let's move on. Why don't you lead Webb Simpson all the way down to we'll go to Morikawa. I like that. That's a good talking point. So that range right there.
So if I guess let's say, I mean, I don't know. This one hurts. I am not a Xander guy. I say it every week. I mean, dude, Xander last week played just about as bad as he could have. I mean, he literally sucked so bad. The only person worse on it seemed like on the planet putting was Tiger, which God. But I mean, dude, Xander like was sticking everything on Friday, Saturday, in like 4 feet, 8 feet, 6 feet. I was like, this guy's gonna ruin my day.
Right. I'm looking at it now. You're right. I didn't realize that.
No, like I was like, this is the guy. He's obviously mega chalk like always, going to ruin all my lineups, and he always does. He actually discontinued sucking. But yeah, Xander, everyone knows he's going to be chalk, but that's probably chalk I'll eat. I mean, no cut event, everyone knows that's like the kind he does the best in. I mean, look, he was right in the no cut event at Tournament of Champions. I mean, it's just like a couple weeks ago. So I like him. I really like Bryson. Dude,
no, you don't have to ask me twice about him. I love Bryson.
No, I mean, like, first of all, I love that everyone hates him, but like, dude, he last week, like, yeah, that was the quietest T5 I've seen since, JT's quiet T2 the week before that. I mean, I like Bryson a lot. I think he looked locked in. He kind of started to make a bit of a run at the end, just ran out of time. And then I'll probably play both Casey and Sergio. I'll just tell people I've already bet them, so I don't know. I hate Sergio and I hate Paul Casey.
Yeah, they always it's always a painful ending with those two. I do, for the record, really like both of them this week though, for two different reasons. Casey statistically is he's always good. I feel like any point in time in the last 5 years, you look at Casey stats, they're generally the same. So like you kind of know what you're gonna get. And this is, like I said, tree line course. I think this favors a Casey straight up. Garcia, actually, if you look back in some of the quotes, I was just looking at my handwritten notes the last 2 years, and I have like multiple things circled around Sergio and how much he actually likes this course sometimes that's just like hearsay, and that doesn't mean shit. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I can tell when I star certain things. Generally, I look at it again. That doesn't mean anything, but I don't know, man. Sergio's starting to play a little bit more. At one point in time, he's going to like bank a top 10 and 8,600.
His last rounds. 12, 7, 6. I don't know. That's pretty good to me.
Well, he's overseas though, right? I mean, let's see it in the PGA Tour over here, and let's see it more consistent.
No. I'm saying his 3 starts here at Mexico.
Oh, see, wow, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I didn't even realize the course history there. I didn't look at.
No, I agree. I mean, he's not going to pop any stat miles because, like you just said, he hasn't been playing the tour. But I mean, if you look at last week, he was top 10 in tee to green, obviously like normal, bottom 10 in putting. So. I don't know if he's one of those guys I say about so many of my favorites, even though I don't like Sergio, but like he just puts average. I mean, Poa he normally sucks on, but I don't know. I think Sergio actually unfortunately will get popular, but I'll probably still play him.
How was Xander off the tee last week? I'm trying to find that. How was he accurate or not?
Xander?
Yeah.
Let me look up on.
Anyways, while you're looking that up, I agree. He's always freaking chalk. I never play him, but one of these weeks I'm gonna have to take the dive. His price is interesting. Like at the end of the day, I think you got to come off Hideki if you're gonna do that. I mean, I really like Tommy Fleetwood a lot. I don't even know if you mentioned him. I know he hasn't been playing, over here yet, but I'm like a Tommy sucker. At the end of the day, that has bit me in the ass a few times in my career, no doubt about that. Obviously, Bryson, I'm always going to agree there. Bryson's one of 3 guys that I actually have a Masters bet on as of the second. So I like Bryson.
Xander,
dude, are you kidding me?
Xander was top 10 off the tee last week.
Wow.
2.6. I mean, he's gained like 10 of it off the tee. I mean, he's
the chalk combo probably is going to be Hideki Xander.
Yeah. Or like,
I mean.
All I'm saying is I hope people go after like Kuchar, who last week literally played horrifically.
I'm not touching Kuchar. I am not touching Kuchar.
Lost strokes with his irons and finished second. Like, that was the biggest, and I was so pissed. I hate Kuchar. He's so annoying.
He gained like 9.5 strokes fucking putting, Bro, what how about this guy? I mean, you actually talked a lot about him last week. You kind of got me on him. I actually wasn't going to play him in cash, but Colin Morikawa is freaking amazing. I mean, this dude is a legit stud. I actually didn't want to bet him because I don't like first timers in WGCs. So I put a sprinkle on it because I could not watch this guy just win. But man, I would really look to play him in my main lineup this week. I don't know if I'm gonna, but I want to check a little bit more into history of the WGCs. But I feel like first timers generally struggle more often than not. But I don't know. This guy is so good, man.
Yeah, I only got off him in cash last week in the end because he hadn't played Riviera, which, I mean, it didn't burn me. It didn't help me. It was kind of whatever. Because, I mean, dude, he was like right there and then 5-putted on Sunday and took himself out of any top finish. But
he scored. He had 3 or 4 eagles on the week, and he had like 14 or 15 birdies. The dude scores, man. That's the thing. Like I feel like he's. If you fast forward 1 year from now, say 2 years from now, which isn't that much time, he's not going to be priced at 8,500. This guy is legit going to be in the mid to 9Ks. That's how good he is.
Of course, absolutely. Dude, moving down. I was all set to play Spieth this week, but holy crap, he looked so bad last week. Oh my god.
Yeah, he blows. I don't know. Never play Spieth. I mean, he sucks.
Apparently,
he is always good around the greens, but that's all he's got. He's good around the greens and with putter at times, I guess.
I'm playing Answer. I'm following the Mexican narrative. I don't even care. He's a stud. I play Abraham Answer every week, though, so that's not really anything new.
Yeah. I mean, people aren't going to play him, too. I don't know. People don't really play him.
I don't know why.
You know my hilarious takes on, like, people won't click the image on the DraftKings because Vaughn Taylor's bald and looks like he's, like, 85. By the way, Vaughn Taylor balled out this week. I know you saw him up there and you were shaking his head because you and I both know we've been playing Vaughn Taylor nonstop. And of course, the 1 week I don't play Vaughn Taylor, he legit almost won. He literally almost won. But
no,
Answer, great call. Sung Jae, are people not going to play him? I mean, 7,900 is a discount in my opinion. If I'm playing cash games, which I'm not, I'm probably playing Sung Jae at 7,900.
No, I'll play Sung Jae because he's had like a couple bad rounds, so now people are going to think he sucks, and like he doesn't. He just has like a couple bad rounds. I'm definitely playing Sung Jae at that price.
Yeah, it seems like a value.
A pivot I like. This will probably end up being my article unless I kind of dive deeper. I don't like it as much. I mean, Brandon Grace, I'm a sucker. I bet him at like every single major. I always play him. But if you look at his actual stats, since he hasn't played in the tour, like he kind of like, I'd say, okay, whatever, he sucks. If you look at his Euro stats, he's like 6th in tee to green, 5th in approach, 10th in scrambling, 18th in putting. Like he's actually like a stud. He just like doesn't play a ton of the tour. He's like not the coolest name to click. I'm definitely going to probably play some Brandon Grace. And I'm actually now curious what his betting number is. I think that'd be a good number. He's good.
Yeah, I always show some weird loyalty to him. I don't play him enough, but he won me big on FanDuel like 3 years ago. Forget the British Open. Forget where they were.
Yeah, when he shot down like 62. Yeah, I played him then too.
It's like the greatest day ever in DFS. I was just watching my account balance just skyrocket because no one was owning him. But hey, you know what name I clicked on? His stats look so amazing, kind of. Is Corey Connors. I mean, this guy is like, he hits every green. Literally, he hits every green. It's unbelievable. Like, he's amazing with his irons. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, I know I'm laughing about it, but I don't know. I play this guy all the time, and I'm looking at all these numbers. They're so amazing, but somehow I get screwed in the ass literally every time. Like, I don't understand. How does he miss the cut? Like, how did he miss the cut?
I didn't even want to talk about it. I was just like, dude, it's like funny because like I was like, you know what? Never again. I'm sick of this guy. It's like all I do is say that one time he's gonna putt, but I know I'm too big of a coward to get off him because if he putts well 1 week and I'm not on him, I will lose my mind. Like lose my mind.
Corey Connors is going to win this year. I promise you that. It's a lock.
And I will have to be on him. If I'm not, I'll play him. I'll play Graham McDowell because I'm a sucker.
Yeah, that's a sucker bet. I like Ty Hatton a lot. Like a lot.
Oh my
Ty
dude,
Hatton
I have really mine as the Ty Hatton guy. He sucks. He's not good.
I don't know, man. I feel like he's way too cheap. 7,400? That's too cheap.
You want to know why?
I mean,
this is his first tournament since a wrist surgery. That's why.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Damn. Okay. When was that done?
What? 2.5 months ago.
What? Yikes.
I'm also
I
there's a
gotta dive
guy.
into that one.
Bernd Wiesberger is plays in the Euro Tour. He's like the 22nd ranked player in the world, and he's 7,400. That's a terrible price. I'll definitely play him.
I've played him definitely a few times in the past. He doesn't score many DraftKings points.
Yeah, but he's scored. I think he's won. First of all, I think he's an interesting bet at 101, just based on value, based on his world ranking. But I mean, he's won like 3 times in the last couple months. I mean, he's like really good.
Carlos Ortiz is going to be chalk, I bet. Isn't he from like the area?
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be on. I mean, what at that dude? They're giving him away.
Shocked.
Giving away.
I'm so mad at myself. I was so mad at myself. I actually, there's every guy in DFS, like whether you're like on tout.com websites or podcasts or just to yourself, everyone's like, damn, if I didn't, make this 2v2 switch, I would have won all the monies. That happens like every night, right?
Yep.
So I actually was just toying with it. I was going to play Finau the whole time. So I'm not even saying I'm that guy, but I was toying with this 2v2 with Ortiz and Hideki, which would literally have just pretty much given me the nuts, except I didn't have Adam Scott and would have helped out big time. And I kept toying with him like, dude, no, I can't leave Tony hanging like that. Like, that's my dog, But Ortiz made all the sense in the world looking back. And I was actually surprised at how popular he was in cash games. I didn't see that coming. I knew he was going to be owned, but at the field at Riviera, dude, I mean, I don't know. I was definitely a little bit surprised how high owned he was. He's definitely going to be owned this week.
I mean, Ortiz may be the best player in this field. I mean, there's a possibility.
He scores points, dude. I mean, at the end of the day,
his putting last week was so bad as it is all the time. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's funny. It's like you're calling, like we can call him like a punt. What's crazy is like there's guys I can't wait to lose money on this week because it's like Sebastian Munoz. I play him every single week, 6,800. Lanto, I don't know why he's 67. Carlos Ortiz, Eric Van Rooyen, who like has been terrible but is only 6,600. And then my man Ryan Fox, who hits the ball like 3,000 miles at 6,400 yards or $6,400.
I remember playing that guy last year here, and it didn't work out. I just remember. It's like, it's like the only time I've ever played Rick Fox or whatever his name is, and I'm like, I am never playing this guy again.
Did he start green on Euro? He finished second 2 weeks ago on Euro. It's pretty good.
He still screwed me last year at the tournament. Never forget.
Justin Harden.
Is that the bomber, dude?
Harden, yeah. Well, no, Justin Harden's won like the Masters last year through like 3 rounds. He was like kind of in it.
Oh, I don't really remember him. I don't know much about him. I'd have to dive in. Honestly, I'm not going to be clicking all these names down here this week. Like I said, I'm probably making 3 or 4 lineups. There's some names that I'm looking at. Here's a name. Do you know much about him? He's I looked at him a couple times in my model, but Michael Lorenzo Vera. Do you know much about him? Because he looks interesting.
Oh, he's like, he's a French dude. He has a killer mustache. Yeah, he was like kind of competing not competing. That's a lie. But in the U.S. Open last year, he was like kind of in it. He's like pretty good. He's like pretty consistent. I don't know how much he scores, but I mean, he's like top 40 tee to green. He's like a good scrambler. He's decent off the tee. He's like top 40 in that in the year. But again, it's always tough because it's against the Euro Tour guys, which is obviously less competition. But he's not like the worst punt. I mean, I think he's played. I don't know if he's played it or not, but I don't know.
Man, Matt Wallace is down here. That dude, he's got some moxie in him. 6,600. I mean, Eric Van Rooyen played last week. I forget how he did. I know I played him in one of my lineups that didn't do shit. Lanto Griffin's like I feel like mega hot. He's 6,700. So there's definitely some names down here. And in a 4-day no cut event, like I think you need to hit on these guys, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but
like at least one, probably 2 guys sub 7K are gonna finish like top 15. If you just gotta forget. Yeah, I mean,
you need to hit if you're gonna win a tournament this week. This is why I'm kind of looking a little bit more this week than other weeks. I mean, a lot of other weeks I kind of get down to this range, and there's a few guys I'm always a little bit interested in, but I just don't make too many lineups around them. Who else down here are we missing? Sebastian Munoz. I mean, he's pretty hot, right? I mean, didn't he not just top 5 last week? And he was in contention in a couple.
I play Munoz every week. I'll never not play him. Yeah, he finished.
He came in 26.
Yeah, but he
was up there though. That dude was up there for a minute.
If you want just like an absolute Euro punt, Matthias Schwab is like really good. That's like a punt. But again,
Kokrak $7,000. Wow. I mean, that to me sticks out. Kokrak's won me some money, but he's lost me some money. Like I got mixed feelings towards him, but
I'm done playing Kokrak.
7,000.
So
Charles House. What is going on? Charles House, 7,100. I mean, that's kind of crazy. You lost 5 strokes putting last week, dude. He ain't gonna lose 5 strokes again. He sucks, but he's $7,000, 7,100.
But we just said, like, if I was playing a cash, which I can't stress enough, I'm not. I would probably play Charles Howell. But like in tournaments, like, is he gonna have winning upside? No. Does he even have top 10 upside? No.
I think he does though, because with 4 days of Howell, dude, he's such a good ball striker. I'm talking. I mean, for this course though, I don't know. I think you'd be surprised, dude. 7,100 for this type of course. To me, it's like he's poor man's Kuchar. He has a better week than Kuchar, like on any freaking given day of the week.
Well, yeah. I mean, Kuchar sucks. I mean, I don't know. Dude, are you gonna play Molinari? He ranks almost last in my model.
No, not at all. He's so off right now. Like he's just the easy. Him and Spieth are like always the easy X buttons right now. I can't even touch Molinari. I love my dog. He may be my cash, but it's over right now. I saw an interview with him a couple weeks ago, and he literally was like, "I have no clue what I'm doing." So it pays sometimes to watch golf.
Are you gonna play Cabrera Bello, who will be chalk for no reason? Literally,
why is he always chalk? I mean, I don't mind him. He's not the worst player, clearly. What's his price? It's got to be cheap.
76. Dude, he will be chalk, like, for sure.
I thought it was going to be cheaper. I mean, to me, that's even kind of pushing his limit. So I never played Bale. I mean, I just don't. He's kind of like been the Xander for me over the years. But man, Schauffele is freaking hot right now. I can't believe his green regulations. I definitely got to take a second look. As much as I want Hideki Tommy combo, I don't think I can have all 3 in a lineup at all. Anyways, anything else that we're missing here? We're getting towards the end of the pod.
No, I mean, I'll have my article out tomorrow, betting out tomorrow or Wednesday when and again, things could change. I need to dive deeper and make sure I have kind of the right stuff, get my top 20s and everything like that. But yeah, I think I'm trying to get a better handle on the Euro guys. I might put something in Discord about kind of my Euro guys rankings down here because I think it's tougher to differentiate because these guys don't have stats like on Fantasy National and things like that, or they're outdated. So yeah.
Good call in the Discord. We will go ahead and ask it. Who's my what?
Who's your pick to win, dude?
Well, I gave my bets over at betkarma.com's Discord. What? I really think, man.
Your guy above, like your long shot, like above 50 to 1.
So based on, let me answer that in 2 ways. Value is Sung Jae Im.
Okay.
I mean, Im is way too cheap in the betting market. I love that.
I like that too. Good one.
And then my actual non-Hideki type play, I really like Tommy Fleetwood, by the way, but he's still 20 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you got to go Paul Casey. Like the model that I kind of use over the years that kind of helps me. Again, I feel like betting outrights, you're only going to hit 4 a year tops, maybe 5 on a good year or whatever. But Paul Casey has played a few times. You brought him up earlier today, so credit to you on that as well. I think you already have the bet, but he's got decent value. He completely plummeted Sunday. Had he had like an amazing round, not even amazing, just 2 under or something, he would have top 5 last week. But he went completely the other direction. This is a course that fits him, and I think he's getting a little bit lost in the shuffle.
I like that call. I don't know who mine would be.
Who's your Adam Scott pick of the week?
No, I know. I just have such a sucker thing for like friends. Like I'm already telling you, probably as soon as we end this pod, I'm probably gonna go bet Brandon Grace, and he's not gonna win. Like he's not gonna win, but I'll probably bet him.
Yeah, but you got to make bets like that. You get a little card together. Half the guys aren't even going to be in the running, but you get a couple horses in the race, maybe a couple live bets on the weekend, and then you're golden.
I don't know. Grace at least has won here. I mean, not here. He's won a couple weeks ago, but I was going do I just bet Corey Connors and just light money on fire?
No, God, the guys like that aren't winning here. Come on. That's why I think even Sunshay's pushing it. Like the WGC, it's most of the best of the best with no cuts. So
answer 50, 55 to 1. I like that.
Hey, little home country cooking narrative. I mean, that's definitely intriguing. So, all right. As always, you can find all of our content. You can talk to us under the Discord product feature, dfskarma.com. You can follow Sam's bets and tail those at betkarma.com when that content comes out. Good luck this week, guys. Tag the Twitter account if you guys have any big wins. We'll see you next week. Good luck.